Hydrate early and dominate the day. Meteorologist Mike Prangley. And yes, it's heating up out there and great to be with you. First things first, as a Gator dad, I had to wear the Gator colors here this morning. And Katrina, our producer today, Katrina, you've got some ties to the Gators? No? UNF, you're an Osprey. Well, you and I both have that in common. So all I have to say is swoop, baby. Yeah. Now, when I went to UNF, we didn't have all those fancy TV studios that you have nowadays. So you were lucky. And as we take a look from UNF to UF, the kids are getting back in school next week. So tonight, of course, we're getting ready for the basketball game. Gators, they believe, a 7 o'clock tip-off, and it should be a good one. All the games are really good. And the kids are heading back to school tomorrow. Well, my daughter's heading back today with her friends. So I know the roads are going to be very congested. Make sure you hug the little ones before they leave. It's tough. It's always tough for parents to say goodbye when they go back to college. And then we'll see them before you know it. They'll be back home. But I told my daughter, be extra careful. Everybody's getting back, whether it be UF, FSU, the Knowles, UCF. So travel weather, though, is looking wonderful for our college kids. And if you're staying at home and enjoying some sunshine and seizing the sunshine here, St. Augustine, we've got the Seafood Fest. So we've been talking about this all week long. And you can see the blue skies, good eating, good shrimp. And you see I think there's a pirate boat there, Katrina, and the pirates are going to be out there, I heard. Yeah, pirates. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So there's entertainment, there's bands, a lot of good things going on. So that's the Lion Seafood Fest going on at St. Augustine. It's a spring tradition here in the Jacksonville and the First Coast News area. And I tell you what, right now it's just gorgeous. 69 degrees currently in St. Augustine, a dew point of 59. So we've got the dew points coming up a little bit, but overall the humidity will drop pretty nicely this afternoon. It's not going to be like a muggy day by any means, so keep that in mind. But we've got to watch the fire risk. We'll talk about it. So we're going to talk first of all about our heat and the record heat across the country. I'm just going to hit you with the weather fact of the day right away with the hot weather. And then we're going to go into our fire risk. And then we have an amazing week ahead for sports fans. I started the program talking about March Madness and the Gators tonight. Well, we've got baseball here downtown going on this week, soccer, and a lot more. So, yeah, we got the sports in the third block. So, St. Augustine, let's get out there and seize the sunshine, right? Okay, that's what we're going to do. Temperatures, even by the water, 82 degrees. We've come a long way in the last few days. So, what we're going to do is we're going to be just enjoying, just walk those steps, get them in, and just enjoy the beautiful scenery. Why we love calling this home. Low 80s, southwest winds hold all day, and this evening looking beautiful as well by the fort. Now for Veterans Park pickleballers, it's been full. It's been full all week. We had a little patchy fog to start this morning, and now the sunshine's winning out, and we're going to be up into the low to mid 80s. Now that's the shade temperature, so this can be kind of interesting here as we break it down. Shade temperatures are what we measure in meteorology. So we showed you Veterans Park. You look at Mandarin, that's 91 degrees. Michaelers Beach, 84, 89 in Jacksonville. But in the sun, just keep in mind you can add another 10 to 15 degrees. So let's get to the panel to the left. Jacksonville, near record high. Records 90 will be at 89 today with that west wind, our friend, if you like the warm to hot weather. Michaelers Beach, yeah, even on the beach, if we can get that west wind most of the day like we're going to see today, yeah, not a problem getting in the mid 80s, but that burn time, 20 minutes as those spring rays are going to work. And then in Mandarin, just keep in mind, there will be spots in the 90s today, 91 in the shade, but there it is, the court temperature, because that sun's blazing off the asphalt here today. We'll be at 102. So I showed you the pickleball forecast there for Veterans Park. If you're playing tennis in Mandarin, make sure you hydrate. And you got to do it well before you get out there. You can't just say, oh, I'm starting to feel a little thirsty. That's when you can run into leg cramps and problems like that. So just keep that in mind. We're going to beat the heat together here. A little early season heat wave. Now, our Prangley Runner Index this morning, we said it's a 10 out of 10 kind of day, but I lowered it a bit to a grade 8, all right, because of those numbers I just gave. Runners, we like 50s and 60s as optimum running weather. But today, yeah, nature taking it to the next level. So as we try to stay hydrated as a runner, a lot of folks, say, how much water do you actually need? So a typical day, really take your body weight, divide by 2, and there it is. You need that in ounces of water. So let's say I'm about 100 ounces of water, and Katrina and I were figuring that out. That comes to 16, 13, 40, 64, 80. So at least 6 bottles of water. But notice on the warmer days, especially here in Florida, we were going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so you add about 2 to 3 bottles of water per day. And the one thing I always say, if you're going to be undergoing vigorous activity out there, you're playing that tennis. I'm getting those long drag out tennis matches where I go to 4 and 5 sets. I add in some of the electrolytes there. I've got a little electrolyte mix I put in the water bottle at home, and that goes a long way because you lose the potassium and the sodium, those electrolytes in your body when you perspire heavily. So if you're going to be one of those athletes and you never give up like me, you'll go to the 5th set, you'll just hit that ball until you get the winner. Just keep in mind, you have to add even a little bit more water, and then I would do a sports drink as well today. All right, so stay hydrated. All right, and as we take a look at our future cash, you can see why. Just abundant sunshine out there, and all of us warming up. There's that temperature really sticks out, right? 89 in Jacksonville. We should be at 75 for this time of year. And that cool to chilly sea breeze. See how it's just staying offshore? You can kind of see the little wind currents and the wind arrows there. It's the west wind that wins. Lake City, 83 degrees. And of course, this morning we had a little bit of fog out there, and we'll get to that fog talk here in a second. But as we go into tonight, there it is. We know we're in a warm pattern, spring tradition here on the First Coast. Yeah, higher dew points, leftover chilly water from winter. We're cooling to the dew points at night, and there you go. We're going to have some fog to contend with. So we did have a dense fog advisory this morning, and it was thick as well inland. Okay, Highway 301 west and some fog to I-95. But tomorrow, again, I'm most concerned Lake City to Keystone Heights and areas of Putnam County, right in that Highway 301 corridor to I-75. And that's where we've had a couple of new wildfires this weekend, especially a bigger one toward Belmore State Forest. So some of that smoke could mix with the fog, and most visibility is about a quarter to half mile, could be much less than a quarter mile like we saw this morning. So again, we're not going to let our guard down. All right, with nature, we got the high fire risk, fog, and maybe some super fog or the smog, or when the fog mixes in with the smoke. And with the kids getting back to school tomorrow, I talked about my daughter getting back tomorrow. We got to watch things carefully. So I'll be with you on Good Morning Jacksonville. We'll have all the visibilities, and we'll go county by county, keeping you safe. But we start very warm, near 60. West wind will kick in. That'll mix out the fog pretty early. There's your thickest fog. That really tells the story, right? 8 a.m., you got Highway 301 watching western Clay County, Duval County, and Putnam, back in Alachua County, and Baker, Union, and Bradford County, and then even interior southeast Georgia toward Waycross. That fog will be quick to burn off as we head toward mid-morning, and there it is. Tomorrow afternoon, I still went 90. I think tomorrow would still be the warmest day of the last bunch, at least for this week. And you can see back up to 90 and low to mid 80s at the beach. And then there we go. We got a little front coming. Is that rain? Yeah, a little bit of rain, at least just to the north of Brunswick. Maybe a late day or evening shower in Waycross, but that's kind of a backdoor front. Not much moisture to work with, but I did put good chances of rain in there for us on Tuesday. Not too excited about the amounts, but we'll take every little bit we get. But the reason we're feeling like May, here it is, as we stream live here at 10:09, it's the heat dome building in. And I said I'd get right to the heat facts right away. And we've been tracking the heat for the last several days out west. If there is good news, we have the lower dew points. We talked about those temperatures in the sunshine pushing 100 today, but at least it's without the humidity. And this is something that makes a big difference. So that's why I still gave the runner index a great 8. Usually runners don't like anything close to 90 degrees, but when you're getting feels like temperature a little less than the actual temperature, there's another scale we use. Low dew points, that's some good news. All right, so 89, we top out today, and they're feeling more like 88 because we got a dry atmosphere and that relative humidity dropping to less than 30%. But again, that means a fire risk, and we'll talk about that coming up after our heat block here. So here it is, the fact of the day. Dun, dun, dun. The new USA March record high is now up to 112. It seems like we update this every day. We had 110 yesterday. I said, well, we need to get some confirmation. So Yuma, Arizona, now in the books with 112 degrees with the record heat. So that was one of several spots that hit 112. So we're putting that as the new United States record. And you can see today still a lot of heat out west from Phoenix, Arizona, back into the Mojave Desert. All right. So we were talking about that heat that'll eventually, it's spilling our way over the next couple of days. Now, there is a heat risk chart. All right. You can see the yellows here. We're still more in the minor range. You've got the moderate risk back toward Tucson and that desert heat wave I showed you. North Texas seeing that. Then as we go through the week, yeah, things will start to scale back a bit. Monday a bit. We're going to take some precautions. And then by Tuesday, there's that front coming. So notice Jacksonville painted in just the a little to no rest. We like that. But overall, the pattern's a warm one. We got that high pressure building back during the week this week. Wednesday, notice from Columbia, Missouri, back into Texas. We're taking precautions again. Then here comes the heat. Roaring back into North Florida, South Georgia as we get into late week Thursday, Friday. Of course, we got the jumbo shrimp game going on Friday. So again, we may cool down a little bit this week, but we're going to bounce back really quickly. It looks like by mid to late week. And then by the weekend, yeah, temperature's plenty warm. So heat levels, we're going to stay, there's your chart, usually 0 to 4. We're going to stay more in the category 1, risk to sensitive groups and minor category. But again, we could pop to 2 at times out there, and we'll keep you updated. 10-day forecast before we take a short break. I know Katrina was asking, and we'll talk more about this. There it is. We got the heat near record highs today, tomorrow. There's that rain chance. The best chance would be on Tuesday at 60%, but we are drying out for those big sporting events for the Sporting Jacks soccer Wednesday for the men, and the ladies on Saturday. The jumbo shrimp looking good all weekend long. But what's not looking good? Yeah, those rain chances very low over the next 10 days, all the way through the end of the month. There was March 31st. Just still lucky to see even a shower. There's maybe a shower or two March 30th, Monday. That's about it. But one thing's for sure, spring has sprung, and it's going to be warmer than normal and drier than normal. So coming up, we'll take a look at what that means for our fire risk. We only have a few more minutes, but hey, grab a sandwich. Come on back. We'll take a look at that. And of course, I've got all your sporting forecast events as well, and all those forecasts coming up.
That is the Protector.
This truck is a beast.
It's got all the tools on it. I love how big the tires are.
And this is going to be able to show you the weather around the First Coast like you've never seen it before.
The Protector really is going to help protect the community.
So you can see what it looks like on the ground. And that allows folks to really take action and do something about it.
And it gives us that edge in continuing to be the most accurate weather team.
Sponsored by HananiaAutos.com.
I'm Keitha Nelson. Good morning, Jacksonville anchor and mom of twins, Journey and Trey. I'm on your side, getting you out the door and off to a great start. Make the move to Good Morning Jacksonville on First Coast News. Weekdays from 4:30 to 9, anywhere you watch.
First Coast Living Live.
Bringing you closer to the tastiest food.
The best shopping.
And family fun.
Woo!
Jordan Wilkerson and David Benfield. First Coast Living Live. Weekdays at 11 a.m. only on NBC 12.
We have new details about a heavy police presence in Jacksonville Beach.
Driver fired gunshots along the interstate today, prompting a police chase.
Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
The First Coast News weather team is here to deliver your most accurate forecast with weather impact alerts to warn you about severe weather and up-to-the-minute information on First Coast News Plus.
The wave of moisture rolls its way on in here.
Our team is the most equipped and experienced to help you prepare and keep you safe.
The First Coast News weather team is always on your side. Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
My mission is to help you get to where you're going safely. Whether it's helping you beat the backup on 95 or navigating the slowdown on JTB, we've got you covered. Make the move to Good Morning Jacksonville on First Coast News. Weekdays live from 4:30 to 9, anywhere you watch.
There's a beautiful look at Jacksonville Beach. You see the haze in the air, and boy, a lot of folks on the beach. And we said, yeah, this is the time to get out and seize the sunshine for sure. And make sure you have the sunscreen out there. But if you notice the atmosphere, hey, Katrina, it's a little hazy out there. You know, we've got the wildfires that are sprouting to life, unfortunately. And we do have a red flag warning that goes into effect from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. this afternoon. And of course, we were watching the wildfire that broke out, 350-acre wildfire near Belmore State Forest, just north of Keystone Heights. And right now it's about 85% contained. But some of that smoke with that west wind will move into areas of St. John's, Duval County as we head through the afternoon. And again, a red flag warning, meaning that conditions are more conducive today with that wind picking up out of the west and that drought we were talking about for possible new wildfires. Okay, so just keep that in mind. New information here on the streaming show. National Weather Service is going with that red flag warning at least between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Let's get back to your most accurate 10-day forecast. We got you covered. The reason why we have that fire risk, there it is, the next 2 days. You see temperatures up near 90, west wind, high dispersion rates. And we said, we gave the little heat index, and it's unusual where we were going to see a high of 89, and it feels more like 88. Okay, so low dew points, lower humidity, west wind, extreme drought, dry ground, not a good combination. So that's the next 2 afternoons. So tomorrow, I would not be surprised to see one more red flag warning. Maybe we do a weather impact alert. We'll see how things stack up here with that. So again, we'll have you updated. We got Lee coming in this evening with an update. And of course, I'll be with you in Good Morning Jacksonville. At this point, really, it's the record highs, high fire risk is my big 2. And then as we go into Tuesday, we're trying, aren't we? We got a 60% chance of some showers, but the rain looks on the light side. That northeast wind will cool us down. So for folks that like the cooler weather, yeah, we're gonna get a little break from this. We're not jumping right into summer, but notice by Thursday and Friday, that fire risk likely to rise again with the temperatures, and then not much rain all the way through March 31st on the 10-day. So that's your updated news here. And I want to give a shout out to our weather watchers as always. This one from our friend Mary Grace. This is from San Marco, where the little dogs were running yesterday at 3 o'clock, and we said, get out there and enjoy. And it was a wonderful time. And, we take a look at that gorgeous sunset. It'll be gorgeous again today. And it'll be a little extra glow, a little extra red. We're talking about some of the wildfires to our west, some of that smoke blowing in. So it gives that little extra pop to the sunsets out there as those rays go through a little bit more of the atmosphere. And the smoke tends to scatter some of the longer wavelengths more efficiently. So today, again, we're watching the near record highs, brunch temperatures of 82. And there it is, the high fire risk. All right, we've been pinpointing this for the last several days. And here's the problem. I mean, we got a beautiful day, but there's the humidity dropping from Nassau County, Duval, Clay, St. John's, Putnam County down to about 22%. At Jacksonville Naval Air Station. So notice the trend. Why we got that red flag warning for areas to our west. All right, that's really I-95 west, and we're talking really from the St. Johns River to the west and across our area in our Florida counties, and that includes Nassau County, and that's because that's where your lower humidity is. All right, so we dropped from 51% in Mayport to 26% in Lake City, and that's an elevated to high to even critical fire risk at times. So remember your fire safety tips, heat all warnings, no open burning, heat all warnings, please keep vehicles off the dry grass, and yes, let's dispose of those cigarette butts where they belong. All right, moisture. We're looking for something to help our drought and our fire weather, and if you look at the scale, you go from dry to wet. Yeah, we're not seeing the deeper greens, are we? Let's put it in motion. Monday, Tuesday. There's that front. It's not quite green, is it? It's kind of a muted green. All right, that's not the best news for the rain amounts on Tuesday into Wednesday, and then back to the dry. And that's why the big story this week for me would again be that high fire risk. A little bit more moisture. There we go. But that's for Central and South Florida by next weekend for sure. So that's a Sunday, March 29th. So that's a ways away, and hopefully some of that moisture can come our way. So updating the fire danger, Lee's been working on this with me, and yeah, we're seeing the red on the graph now, elevated critical. Tuesday, Wednesday with more moisture out there, a little bit more at least, and the northeast wind will cool down briefly lower and then right back up into the high range and critical range as we head into Friday, Saturday. And that's because high pressure is just dominating most of the United States. Polar jet stream has lifted to the north. Here's that low. It's more of a backdoor front. Come on, rain, let's go. And it does come in, and I'd say the heaviest rain would be right along the coast. So showers will be likely by Tuesday. Windy, chilly 60s. And check it out. We got our forecast rainfall. Come on. This is the new stuff coming in live on streaming here at 1020. And there it is. That's better. St. Augustine showing maybe a half inch to Jacksonville. And those are more spotty amounts, but that's a start. And then notice you could drop from a half inch to a trickle, maybe a 100th of an inch by the time you get to Lake City. and 1100s for Brunswick. So we'll keep you updated on that. Travel weather for all the kids getting back to college. Tampa, all right, USF, 80 degrees. UCF, Orlando, 86. And we talked about Tallahassee. If the kids want to go back in the morning, sometimes the kids have the classes starting Tuesday. Just keep in mind, I would wait until later tomorrow morning if they're traveling because of that fog issue and some of the smoke from the wildfires out there. And if you looked at the top of the map here one more time, is that amazing? We had 90 degrees up near Nashville, Tennessee for a high. So think about how far north those 90s are riding. Pretty something we don't see often in the month of May or March. And it's like May, right? So yeah, we're talking about, there it is, 90 in Charlotte, 89 Little Rock to Nashville. So just really record-breaking weather throughout the Southeast. So on our forecast planner, there is today's high 89. If you're planning for the next few hours, plan on the heat. Mid to upper 80s, Michler's Beach. It's hopping. We're going to go to your beach forecast and all your sporting events coming right up.
That is the Protector.
This truck is a beast.
It's got all the tools on it. I love how big the tires are.
And this is going to be able to show you the weather around the First Coast like you've never seen it before.
The Protector really is going to help protect the community.
So you can see what it looks like on the ground. And that allows folks to really take action and do something about it.
And it gives us that edge in continuing to be the most accurate weather team.
Sponsored by HannahNiaAutos.com.
I'm Keitha Nelson. Good morning, Jacksonville anchor and mom of twins, Journey and Trey. I'm on your side, getting you out the door and off to a great start. Make the move to Good Morning Jacksonville on First Coast News. Weekdays from 4:30 to 9, anywhere you watch.
First Coast Living Live.
Bringing you closer to the tastiest food.
The best shopping.
And family fun.
Jordan Wilkerson and David Benfield. First Coast Living, live. Weekdays at 11 a.m. only on NBC 12.
We have new details about a heavy police presence in Jacksonville Beach.
Driver fired gunshots along the interstate today, prompting a police chase.
Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
The First Coast News weather team is here to deliver your most accurate forecast with weather impact alerts to warn you about severe weather and up-to-the-minute information on First Coast News Plus.
The wave of moisture rolls its way on in here.
Our team is the most equipped and experienced to help you prepare and keep you safe.
The First Coast News weather team is always on your side. Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
My mission is to help you get to where you're going safely. Whether it's helping you beat the backup on 95 or navigating the slowdown on JTB, we've got you covered. Make the move to Good Morning Jacksonville on First Coast News. Weekdays live from 4:30 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Great to be with you here streaming live. And hey, we're talking about updated information from the National Weather Service at 10:04 a.m. is when they issued the red flag warning. That's after 10 o'clock this morning. That goes into effect officially 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. on our Sunday due to those west winds picking up. And that'll result in that red flag warning. Really, you go from the St. Johns River, really west of the St. Johns River, okay, in all of our Florida counties. So really west of the St. Johns River with that high fire risk, so a red flag warning. And for the rest of us, yeah, it's going to be plenty high in the elevated range. So don't be the spark. Don't be the spark. Avoid open flame burning. Discard cigarettes properly. We talked about that. And just, we're talking about red flag conditions between I-95 and I-75, Northeast Florida. And as we look at our fire danger here, Katrina, looking at all this latest information, we're, of course, still tracking that new wildfire, 350-acre fire toward the Belmore State Forest, okay, just north of Keystone Heights. And right now, at last check, and we're trying to get all the new information in for you, it's called the Bondarenko Court Fire, and that's because that's where it started yesterday. And the latest is it was contained, 85% contained, but still active. And the reason you may see some smoke across Metro Jacks today is because of that fire and that west wind. So fire danger, big deal for most of us. Next couple days, little break midweek, and then back to the high range next weekend. And we'll go through some maps here. Rain, don't count on much again as we head to the end of March. We showed you the 10-day forecast that goes all the way through March 31st. Yes, we have a backdoor front, maybe some showers moving through. Maybe a couple spots could see some heavier showers, but most of us on the light side on the rain on Tuesdays. We fall into the 60s. And again, we're praying that this is more widespread, but at this point, doesn't look like that'll be the case on Tuesday into early Wednesday. So if you're planning After school sports, Tuesday would be the soggy day. Then we dry out Wednesday. Travel weather today for the kids heading back to college is good. Do not have them travel back first thing tomorrow morning. They can wait to the afternoon because we'll have a dense fog advisory likely again like we saw today. And better safe than sorry. Forecast planner, 89 officially in Jacksonville. We look at Michaelers Beach. Let's cool off by the water. I'm ready. I'm going to take my wife out for a nice walk on the beach today. Low to mid 80s, surf 3 to 4 feet. If you're fishing, Captain Alvarez is happy. The trout are biting. A little moderate chop though on the intercoastals as winds switch to the south at 10 to 15 knots. And as we look at our big forecast for the sports, we've got a big sports week here in Jacksonville. It starts on Wednesday, UNF Hodges Stadium. There you go, Katrino. Home of the Ospreys. We've got the men's soccer team here. Sporting Jacks, it's their debut against Miami. What a match. Temperatures should be fine. No problem. Very low rain chance. Sunset at 7:41. So get out there and enjoy as we fall into the 60s. And then FSU in Florida. All right, so I was talking to my daughter. She's home for the spring break this whole week. I said, we got to get to some baseball games. Well, maybe she can come back and see Dad. Come on back to Jacksonville. I miss her already. Can you tell? So mid 60s sound good. A few gusty breezes, but that 40% chance of rain, I don't count on it. All right. As we go into the home opener for the Jumbo Shrimp, Good Morning Jacksonville is live on Friday. Tradition for sure. And we're proud to be out there. We'll be out there first thing in the morning, getting you ready for the first pitch at 7:05. Temperatures should stay in the 70s. And again, Friday would probably be the hottest day of the week for our, second highs. We got Monday, and then we're going to warm back up into the very warm range as we head into Friday. And let's go through the week. Here's our beautiful state from Jacksonville. Tampa's actually been cooler than us because of that west wind. There's that rain chance. And then things fizzle out, and then we heat back up by late week, and we'll watch for the baseball. And we appreciate you streaming with us here on our Weather Impact Live, and we are looking for a wonderful week across the country. And Katrino, you see we got the temperatures, no sign of any real cold air, just a little cool down midweek. So as we look at our 10-day forecast, let's go nature. Well, we've got plenty of sunshine, okay, plenty of great weather for sports, but that higher fire danger will continue with those low rain chances. So keep checking back. I'll see you first thing in the morning on Good Morning Jacksonville. We're going to be tracking fog tomorrow, probably another red flag warning. And again, this afternoon, the big thing we're watching, even though it's beautiful outside, very high fire danger now that has developed west of the St. Johns River for all of our Florida counties, really from the St. Johns River all the way to I-75. So stay safe, enjoy the sun, and don't forget the sunscreen.